welcome back to a new taekook one. So this is going to be top 3. I hope you will enjoy it. The heavy silence of the luxurious mansion was broken only by the soft tickle of the golden clock on the wall. Taehyung sat in his home office surrounded by tall bookshelves and glass windows with a thick black curtain half drawn. His dark desk was filled with neatly arranged files, a sleek laptop, and a few weapons hidden beneath the drawers. He was in the usual black silk shirt, the top few buttons undone, relieving a silver chain resting against his smooth skin. His dark hair was slightly messed from a long day, but his face slowly showed no sign of exhaustion. He was the Mafia was the king in the shadows, feared by many, but by all. But none of that mattered when Jungkook walked in. Jungkook quietly opened the door without knocking. He always did that when he missed his husband. It was his little habit. Taehyung never said no. Taehyung didn't even look up when Jungkook entered, but his hand paused for a second on the file he was reading. Jungkook slowly walked towards him. He wore a soft white hoodie, his black hair a little messy. His eyes were gentle but clouded with something deeper. Without a word, Jungkook climbed onto Taehyung's lap and sat sideways, resting his head on Taehyung's shoulder. Taehyung calmly, still looking at his files. You can. Jungkook is softly smiling a little. I missed you. Taehyung didn't reply. His hands instinctively moved to Jungkook's thigh. His fingers moved slowly up and down, a soft motion that was more habit than affection. His other hand was still signing documents. Eyes focused on the page. Jungkook closed his eyes, enjoying the little touch he was giving. It was the only warmth he got these days. He turned his face and started kissing Taehyung's cheek softly, then his jawline, then the center of his lips. But Taehyung didn't react. His expression didn't change. His hands kept moving on Jungkook's thigh, slow, lazy circle, but his heart felt miles away. Jungkook whispering, "You smell like smoke again. Were you out on the field?" Taehyung short reply briefly. Jungkook leaned close and kissed Taehyung's temple. Jungkook, don't get hurt, please. Taehyung didn't reply, just nod. Jungkook sat in silence for a few more minutes. He was used to this, used to the quiet, the cold, the absence of emotion. But some days, like today, it hurts more than usual. He got up quietly and walked out of the room. Taehyung's eyes followed him for just a second before returning to the file in front of him. Jungkook walked into their shared bedroom. It was big, warm, and decorated with elegance, but to him it felt empty. He threw himself on the bed, picked up his phone. He scrolled aimlessly through photos, messages, and videos, looking for something to distract him. A video of him and Taehyung laughing at a beach years ago popped up. He watched it twice. Jungkook muttering to himself, "Where did that Taehyung go?" He turned off the screen and let out a soft sigh. The tears didn't fall, but they lingered in his eyes. He lay there silently, hugging a pillow until the sound of front door echoed in the mansion. Meanwhile, the front door opened and in walked Vi, Taehyung's identical twins, the only person who looked exactly like him. The same sharp eyes, same voice, same beauty, but there was one big difference. Vi smiled. Vi was always full of emotion, laughter, and mischief, while Taehyung was ice. Vi was fire. Vi calling out, Cookie, baby, I'm home. His voice echoes playfully as he laughed at his own joke. Taehyung Is stood in the corner hallway, watched his twin enter, but he didn't say anything. He just stood in the shadow, silent. He knew we did all this to irritate them, and them get jealous and irritated, but did not respond. We removed his shoes and coat, running a hand through his hair. Jungkook heard the voice and quickly got up. He stepped out of the bedroom and smiled. Jungkook, you are home early. We grinning. Missed me? Jungkook laughing. You wish. I know you missed me. Your eyes spark when you see me. Jungkook clenching, a real smile forming on his lips, and the first time today, Taehyung, still watching from the shadows, narrowed his eyes slightly. Taehyung, Jungkook, how are you today? How was your day? Be tiring, but I had ice cream after work, so now I'm alive again. Jungkook teasing, child. A charming child. They both laughed. We leaned against the wall facing Jungkook. You look down. Something happened. Jungkook paused. He looked into V's eyes. They were the same as Jungkook's, but as things. But Jungkook, not really, just a little tired. V emotionally. Jungkook nodding. Yeah, V's expression softened. He didn't press, but he stayed close. You want to talk about it? Jungkook, after a long pause, maybe after later. V smiling. I will be waiting. I will always hear. You know that. Jungkook gave a small smile. Again, Jungkook, thank you. We go freshen up. I'll join you for dinner. Jungkook, okay. We turn to go to the guest room to change. Whistling a soft tune, Taehyung stepped back into the shadow as we passed by, unseen, back in the study. Taehyung sat in his desk again, but this time he wasn't looking at the files. He was staring at the doors Jungkook had walked out of earlier. His fingers stopped moving. The warmth, Jungkook's warmth, was no longer on his lap. The faint trace of his accent still lingered on Taehyung's shoulder, and then his mind, he replayed the moment he saw Jungkook smiling, laughing with B. Something twisted in his chest. He didn't like it. He didn't like seeing that smile meant for someone else, even if it was his twins. He closed the file in front of him for the first time in days. His heart didn't want to focus on work. Later that night, the three of them sat at the dining table. B sat across from Jungkook, chatting happily. Jungkook responded with little laugh and a smile. Taehyung sat at the head of the table, silent, eating slowly, eyes moving between his husband and his twin. We winning. Hey, cook, next time you are sad, call me. I will take you out for karaoke. Jungkook is smiling slyly. I'm not that bad. You will feel better. Screaming sad songs. Jungkook, fine, only if you sing with me. We deal. Taehyung gripped his spoon tightly. He didn't speak the whole dinner, but later that night when everyone asleep, he stood outside Jungkook's bedroom door and hovering just above the handle. He didn't go in. Stand, he whispered softly to closed door. Taehyung, do you really smell like that when I am not around? And then he walked away. Night in bedroom. The room was quite dimly lighted by the moonlight sleeping through the curtains. Jungkook was lying on the large bed facing the wall, curled up slightly. His back was towards Taehyung, who had just came out from the bathroom and slid under the cover beside him. Jungkook's eyes were open, staring blankly at the wall. His heart felt heavy, even though he had laughed a little with me earlier. He still missed the man sleeping next to him. His husband, Taehyung watched Jungkook's back in silence for a while. The room was so still he could hear his own heartbeat. Then slowly, carefully, he reached out his arm around, he slid around Jungkook's waist and gently pulled him back against his chest. Jungkook's eyes widened slightly. He didn't expect it. Taehyung said nothing. His hands rested against Jungkook's stomach, holding him close. Then, without a word, Taehyung leaned in and pressed soft kisses to Jungkook's neck, one, then another, and another. Jungkook's lips parted in surprise, his body tense at first, and then relaxed completely. He didn't turn around, he didn't speak, but a small smile bloomed on his face as he closed his eyes. His heart whispered, Is he trying? That night he fell asleep in Taehyung's arms, finally feeling a little warmth he had been craving for so long. Morning, dining room. Sunlight filled the room as the accent of freshly cooked breakfast spread through the mansion. Jungkook sat at the long dining table, dressed in a soft cream sweater. He looked refreshed. I sat next to him, dressed in black bottom-up shirt and slacks. His expression was calm, almost unreadable. He was sipping his black coffee slowly, his phone by his side. Jungkook looked at him and tried to start a conversation. Jungkook, what's your schedule today? Taehyung, without looking up, meeting at 10, warehouse inspection after, then paperwork. Jungkook nodded. Will you be home for dinner? Taehyung quietly, not sure, depends. Jungkook looked down at his plate and quietly continued eating. A few seconds later, the sound of cheerful footsteps echoes in the hallway. We walk in. Good morning, my beautiful people. He walked into the room with like a burst of sunshine, dressed in casual. Seriously, you are glowing. Did you get a good night's sleep? Jungkook, blushing slightly and nodded. Jungkook, yeah, better than usual. Taehyung slowly put down his coffee cup. His eyes moved from Jungkook to V, quietly watching V, sitting down and grabbed toast. I had the weirdest dream last night. I was swimming in a sea of venom, and there was noodles everywhere even in my eyes, ears. Jungkook laughed out loud. What? That's disgusting. It was delicious. They both laughed again. Their voices filled the room with warmth. They stared at both of them. Jungkook laughing freely, smiling without holding back. Eyes quickly like they used to in the past. He hadn't seen that. A strange and familiar feeling started growing in Taehyung's chest. It wasn't anger, it wasn't jealousy, it was something deeper. He looked down at his phone but didn't take another bite. We still smiling, looking at Jungkook. Let's go out this weekend. You need fresh air, Jungkook. Maybe I will think about it. I'll drag you out if I had to. Jungkook laughing. Fine. Taehyung didn't say a word, but inside his mind was spinning. Why do you talk to him so easily, Jungkook? Why do you smile more when he is around? Why do you like him? Do you tell him that you never tell me? He wanted to know, he needed to know. The mansion was quiet again, with Taehyung long gone for the day, or so Jungkook thought. He had just finished folding laundry and was now curled up on the couch with a bowl of strawberries, hair tied up in a tiny bun. Cheeks approved, phone in hand, and then came the voice, "We," popping his head inside the living room. Cookie. Jungkook looked up, smiling sad. Instantly, "Jungkook, you are back already? We skipped a boring meeting. I would rather hang out with you." Jungkook giggling. "Rebel? We full time." Then dressed in a casual clothes, hair slightly messy to look like his usual relaxed self, walk over and plop it down beside Jungkook on the couch. In reality, it was Taehyung, not V. He had told his staff to cancel. Taehyung as we hey cook. Jungkook, Taehyung as we. Can I ask you something? Jungkook, sure. Taehyung, yesterday you looked really sad because before I came in. What happened? Jungkook face changed. His smile faded a little. His fingers stopped moving on the phone. Jungkook, oh. Taehyung softly, you don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I'm here if you want to. There was a pause, then Jungkook sighed dramatically and leaned back onto the couch like he had been waiting for someone to ask. Jungkook, it's Taehyung. Taehyung as we fix out what? The size block. What did he do now? Jungkook laughing. You called him ice block? Taehyung. Well, am I wrong? He looks like someone sucked his soul out of him. Taehyung wanted to laugh at his own words, but he held it in. Jungkook clenching. God, you are evil. Taehyung, tell me what happened. Jungkook hugged a pillow and started talking. Jungkook, I went to his office, sat on his lap like I always do. Taehyung, as one does. Jungkook, I kiss him, touches his face, talk to him, and he just keeps signing files. He didn't even look at me properly, just touches my thigh like he was petting a cat. Taehyung, serious face but dying inside. How dare he pet you like a cat? You are a whole gold then retriever at least. Jungkook exactly like at least smile or say something nice, right? Taehyung, this is criminal. I should report him. Jungkook laughing, you are insane. Taehyung, and you deserve better. Jungkook sighing, I just want, I don't know, a little affection, a hug, some words, maybe a surprise kiss. Is that too much? Taehyung softly, no, it's not too much, it's normal. Taehyung's heart stung a little hearing his husband speak like this. He hadn't realized how lovely Jungkook had been. Lonely Jungkook had been. He always thought being close physically was enough, but clearly Jungkook needed more. Jungkook, sometimes I feel like I'm just living beside him, not with him. Taehyung, that's deep and sad. Jungkook, yeah. Taehyung, can I be honest with you? Jungkook, you honest? That is scary. Taehyung, I think your husband is emotionally constipated. Jungkook, laughing uncontrollably. Stop. Taehyung, no, really. Like I bet he wants to say I love you, but instead he says, pass me the gun. Jungkook, oh my god, that's exactly him. They both burst out laughing. Jungkook was wiping tears from his eyes. Taehyung, gently, but hey, he is lucky. Jungkook, why? Taehyung, because you haven't given up on him yet. That made Jungkook go quiet. He looked at his hands. Jungkook, I don't want to give up on him. Taehyung, then don't. And if he doesn't change, Jungkook, yeah. Taehyung, I will kidnap you and make you mine. Jungkook, yeah. You can't say that. Taehyung, I'm weak. I say what I want. Jungkook laughed again, gently smashing his arm. Taehyung inside was smiling like a fool. He had never seen Jungkook this open, this relaxed. He felt a mix of guilt and affection, but now he knew exactly what his husband wanted. He had just had to be bitter without letting his smile show. He leaned back and spoke playfully. Taehyung, alright, time to make a plan. Jungkook, for what? Taehyung, Operation Melt the Mafia Ice King. Jungkook, you are crazy. Taehyung, and you love it. Jungkook smiled but didn't deny it. Later that evening, Taehyung sat in his study again, but he wasn't working. He was thinking. He remembered everything Jungkook said, every little complaint, every sigh. Taehyung to himself, emotional constipation, huh? He glanced softly. Taehyung, fine, I will show you emotion. You ask for it, baby. His eyes sparkled with mischief for the first time in forever. The Mafia King wasn't planning a mission or a deal. He was planning a love attack, and Jungkook would never see it coming. The next morning started differently. Jungkook walked into the kitchen in his oversized hoodie, expecting the usual silence, then drinking black coffee with zero expression and some random toast waiting for him. But what he saw instead made him stop mid-step. There was a cute little bento-style breakfast tray set on the table, heart-shaped eggs, smile face pancakes, even a tiny cup of strawberry milk. Jungkook, blinking, is this for me? Taehyung, who stood nearby dressed in a black robe, didn't even look up from his table. Taehyung, casually, you didn't eat well yesterday. Thought I would try. Jungkook, serious? Try what? Poisoning me with cuteness? Then don't make me take it back. Jungkook is smiling underneath his breath. You know, I'll eat. He sat down, poked his cheeks, pancake. The cheek smelling pancake and chowed with glowing cheeks. Meanwhile, Taehyung peeked out over the table and smiled behind it like a smug mafia prince who just complete the first level of how to husband 101. Later that day, Jungkook's bedroom. Jungkook was folding clothes when door cracked open. Taehyung walked in, holding something behind his back. Jungkook, you need something? Taehyung expressionless. No. He walked over and pulled out a soft purses bunny, holding it out like it was a mission file. Taehyung, you were hugging a pillow last night. Thought you would prefer this. Jungkook, mouth falling open. Wait, what? How did you? Why do you even have this? Taehyung connections. Jungkook, what kind of underground bunny dealer are you? Taehyung didn't reply. He just placed the bunny in Jungkook's arm, turned around and walked out like he hadn't just dropped a cute bomb in the room. Jungkook hugging the bunny. What is happening? Evening living room. Jungkook was scrolling his phone when Taehyung suddenly sat next to him. No, across, not nearby, just next to him. Jungkook blinking rapidly. This was new, and then Taehyung reached out and brushed Jungkook's hair back from his forehead. Jungkook turned screaming, What in the romance novel is this? Taehyung softly, you should tie your hair or I'll do it. Jungkook blushing, why are you being weird? Taehyung, I'm not. Jungkook, you touched my hair. You never touched my hair. Taehyung, do you want me to stop? Jungkook immediately shook his head. Jungkook, no, I just you're acting different, Taehyung shrugging. Maybe I'm involving Jungkook mumbling like a Mafia Pikachu. Taehyung clenches quietly but didn't comment. Instead, he rested his head on Jungkook's thigh, not in a instant robotic way like before, this time with them gently stroking little circles Jungkook's heart, doing flip backflips. Jungkook eternally, who are you and what did you do with my emotionless con- constipated husband? Later that night, bathroom. Jungkook to his reflection, he gave me a bunny, he made me pancakes, he touched my hair. I'm neither dreaming nor or I accidentally walk into a alternate universe and then suddenly we appeared at the door. Or so Jungkook thought. Taehyung dressed as we yo cookie. Jungkook B, you scared me. Taehyung as we. Sorry, I was just wanted to check in. How is the eye skin lately? Jungkook is smiling. Weird, super weird. Taehyung as we. Oh, Jungkook, he made me breakfast, gave me bunny, touched my hair like who is this man? Jungkook. Taehyung sounds like someone got replaced. Jungkook, if he is a clone, I'm keeping him. Taehyung as we. How betrayal. They both laughed. Taehyung teasing, so you are falling in love with your husband again. Jungkook pausing, then smiling softly. Maybe I never stop it. Jungkook thanks out escape to beat. That night as they lie beside Jungkook in bed, he whispered just loud enough for himself to hear. Taehyung, then I will give you every reason to never stop. He reached over and pulled Jungkook closer, kissing the back of his head. Jungkook didn't say a word, but his lips got into a softest, happiest smile. Jungkook walked into the living room at 7:13 p.m. Soft, freshly showered towel still hugging around his neck. He paused mid-step when he noticed something unusual. Candlelight. Not just one candle, a whole trail lined along the floor, softly flickering towards the backyard garden. Jungkook blinking. I'm either getting proposed or to or sacrificed. He followed the candle. The closer he get, the more romantic it became. Rose petal, dim fairy lights, a small table set for two under the tree he used to nap under during spring, and then music, soft jazz playing from hidden speakers, and finally Taehyung standing in a crispy black shirt. What is this? Taehyung's smoothly dinner for you, for us, Jungkook, but why, Taehyung? Do I need reason to romance my husband? Jungkook stunned. Yes, since when do you even say the word romance? Taehyung is smirking. I have been updating my vocabulary. Jungkook did you eat something weird? Taehyung, just your smile, it's addictive. Jungkook, yeah. Taehyung pulled out the chair for him like a gentleman. Taehyung said. Jungkook suspiciously sitting. You didn't kill someone today, did you? Taehyung, only time. Dinner was a dream. Pasta, garlic, bread, mini dessert. But what Jungkook couldn't ignore, he was different. How different thing was tonight. His eyes were soft, his fingers brushed Jungkook's ear. Jungkook every now and then he laughed a little and then offered a wipe and came off Jungkook's lips. Jungkook whispered, who are you and what did you do emotionally constipated Mafia boss admired Taehyung leaned in close, lips bruising Jungkook's ear. Taehyung is taking notes. Jungkook picked on red like strawberry syrup after dinner, still in garden. Taehyung stood and held out a hand. Taehyung, dance with me. Jungkook staring. It's not even an anniversary thing, so you want love only on dates. Jungkook, no. He took Taehyung's hand, and under the moonlight, with softest breeze and music around them, they danced slow, close, chest to chest, murmuring. Because I should have always. Jungkook melted into his arm, cheek pressed against Taehyung's shoulder, and Jungkook, you are different. Taehyung, in a good way. Jungkook, yeah, but also Taehyung turning to him. You are suspicious. Jungkook, laughing a little. Did someone talk to you, threaten you, bribe you with a puppy? Taehyung glanced softly and walked over, pulling Jungkook down onto the bed with him. He tucked Jungkook against his chest, arm wrapped around his waist. Taehyung, no threats, no bribes, just realization. Jungkook, about what? Taehyung, that I am the luckiest man alive and I don't want to waste another second acting like I don't know it. Jungkook, quietly, that's the cheesiest thing you have ever said, Taehyung, and yet you are blushing. Jungkook, why? Winnet and bruised his face in Taehyung's chest. Meanwhile, V's office late night V was bruised under a pile of documents and blueprints, completely exhausted. We crying, why did I agree to this new project? My spine is falling. He had no idea that back at home his teens was living his best rom-com fantasy. The room was dim, the only light coming from the soft glow of bedside lamp. The air was thick with warmth, comfort, and something deeper, something unspoken. Jungkook lay on his back, his heart racing, his eyes locked with the man hovering over him. Taehyung, dressed in a loose black robe that had slipped slightly off his shoulder, leaned down to kiss him. He slow, deep, and full of things he hadn't said for a long time. Jungkook gently, Taehyung, Jungkook, I have been meaning to ask something. He hesitated. Taehyung's lips moved down to his jawline, then to his side of neck, leaving light kisses and made Jungkook forget his own name. For a moment, Jungkook, about you and your brother. Taehyung, cutting him off with a smirk. You mean me pretending to be V? So I could hear your complaint about your cold husband? Jungkook blinked once, twice. Jungkook pouting. Yeah, you knew. Taehyung, I am him, Jungkook. Jungkook, you triggered me. Taehyung, kissing his pout. I did. Jungkook, you were flirting with me as your brother. Taehyung, technically I was flirting with my husband. Jungkook, blessing hard still. That's cheating. Taehyung, then punish me. Jungkook, what? Taehyung pulled the blanket over them. Both leaned in even closer, their hands sliding across Jungkook's waist. Taehyung opened his mouth to protest, but then his lips were catched in another kiss, and this time he didn't hold back. His arms wrapped around Taehyung's neck, pulling him closer as their kisses deepened. Breathe, mingling, hearts tugged like worms. The way Taehyung touched him was so different now, gentle but angry, teasing but full of love. Jungkook captioned softly, "You are really mine, huh?" Taehyung soft, smiling against his skin, always have been. And that night the love bloomed like wildflowers, soft cries, sweet whispers. When they finally fall asleep, limbs struggled and breathed slow. Jungkook smiled, knowing that his cold Mafia husband was actually the warmest person he had ever known. He had just needed the right reason to show it. The next morning, breakfast table, Jungkook came to the table wearing a white neck sweater that suspiciously slid off his shoulder. Mark near his collarbone. Taehyung was already seated, pouring orange juice like the innocent man he absolutely was not. We walked in, looking like a zombie dragged through 3 meetings and 0 hour of sleep. We yawning morning. He sat down, squinting at two peaceful married couple around across the table, and then he spotted the mark and the way Jungkook blushed while pouring cereal, and the smugness on Taehyung's face. We narrowing eyes. Okay, what the heck happened while I was gone? Jungkook coughing into the cereal. Nothing, Taehyung, just a quiet night. We quiet. Jungkook's wearing a I got wicked glow like it's fashion week. Jungkook nearly choking on his career. Taehyung calmly sipped his coffee, we pointing between them. Something is fishy. My brother used to act like a robot. Now he is fluttering, smiling, touching hair. What happened? Taehyung and Jungkook laughing. We don't laugh. I need to know if someone body swept my brother. Jungkook grinning. Let's just say love is powerful. Taehyung and secret can lead to beautiful surprises. We did when I lived for 1 week, and suddenly you two are acting like a couple in a romance drama. And smoking correction, we are the romance drama. Jungkook teasing want us to send you a full script. We grabbing his coffee. I need a vacation. As laughter filled the kitchen, Jungkook leaned gently onto the inside, whispering only for him to hear. Jungkook, thank you for loving me like this. Then softly, thank you for never giving up on me. And in that moment, surrounded by the quiet chaos of breakfast and one overly confused twin brother, they found peace. Their love, built through teasing, secret kisses, and trust, was finally where it was always meant to be, the end. So everyone, how was it? Comment me down. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again with the next takeover. Till then, take care, safe, love you, bye bye, bye.